Steve. Nice equipment.
Well, happy Thanksgiving. We're making a little video. I just recorded Mom um, telling me a little bit about our grandparents. All right, how old were you? You were remembering a holiday with a roasted pig.
I am probably 6 or 7 years old because they still lived up at the farm in New York.
Now, who was this? Your
My grandparents, my grandmother and grandfather Donaldson,
So that was on your
my
mother's side. And where was this that they lived? Do you remember?
They lived in St. Clairsville, New York,
New York. Okay.
and they had a farm. And all I can remember about it is that the barn was across the street from the house. Behind the house was a well, a shed with a well.
Okay.
And you went in through a back door and you went through this scary room. It was dark and it was a storage room of some kind, I guess. I don't know. But anyway,
Like a
and then
root
you went into the room off of that, and of course it had a typical deer's head on the wall, and you wondered where the rest of the deer was.
Now,
And we slept upstairs, and the beds were really high, and they were the old springs, no box springs, just actual metal springs with a mattress on top of it.
oh wow.
And the mattress was only about yay thick.
Now, their names,
Edna and David Donaldson.
that was David Ulysses Donaldson and Ed.
And he raised cattle and sold the milk. He had a couple pigs. He had a big bad old bull that we used to scoot past carefully. And I remember having to help, well, sort of semi-help milk the cows. I mean, I really didn't have to milk them. I had to, like, take the pails or something, I guess, I don't know. And I can remember helping to bale hay, riding on the baler with my mother.
How old do you think you were when you were doing that stuff?
Probably 6 years old, maybe 5 or 6 years old.
So this was the 1940s.
This would be in the 40s, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we went there and lived after I was born. For a couple of years, we actually lived with them.
Okay.
And then we came back down to this area, and they stayed up there until they retired again. And this time they traveled across the country trying to decide where they wanted to settle in their retirement. And they finally decided on Florida.
Okay.
And they ended up in Vero Beach. My grandfather was bored, so he got a job at a dairy farm. And then he started raising hibiscus. And he had his own little greenhouse out back.
Now, do you remember when you were growing up? So when you were real young, you were living up in New York.
When I was very small, yes.
Because I found that you were baptized at that church where Elizabeth Gilmore Berry has her memorial.
Okay, well, I was born in Jamestown, New York.
Okay.
Okay, so my parents were up there when I was born. I don't know how long after that they stayed.
Okay.
Because I don't remember. The next thing I remember is living in McDonald.
Okay, so that would have been near that Miller's Run.
And we were there, I know when my sister was born, we were in McDonald.
Okay.
Because I remember carrying her bottle of milk, and I tripped on the sidewalk and fell and broke my nose or cracked my nose or did something, and, you know.
How much younger is your sister?
My sister's 2 years younger than I am.
Okay.
So.
And do you remember your grandparents from your father's side, the Denny side?
Yes, yes. She was the one who taught me to swear.
What was
She didn't realize they were very religious. You know, you didn't do anything on Sundays except go to church and pray and eat. And that was it. You weren't allowed to do anything else. But she, when she was working in the kitchen, would get upset every once in a while. And she didn't realize she did until I started imitating her. When I was working in the kitchen with her one time, she always let me stand on a stool and pretend I was doing stuff. And I did something, I don't know what it was. I went, Jesus Christ. And she said, what did you say? That's what you said, Grandma.
Oh.